I am going to talk about the Illuminati and the Templars, but let me get there. Many are still left confused from the storm of conspiracy theories that have clouded the American psychosphere since the Obama administration and peaked with the QAnon movement in the last 5 years. I'm no stranger to conspiracy theories myself. I'm a big fan. I reject the stigma associated with the term, and I know that there's a lot of truth in conspiracy theories about the Kennedy assassinations, September 11th, and a number of other cultural and historical events that have been obscured from the general public. I was even keenly aware of the allegations of child sex trafficking rings among the elite way before Pizzagate. I did an entire radio show back in college at SIU Carbondale on the Jeff Guckert Gannon scandal during the George W. Bush administration, the possible Johnny Gosch kidnapping connection, and of course the suppressed scandal at George H.W. Bush's administration, which exposed call boys being solicited by White House officials and getting after-hours White House tours from Republican lobbyist Craig J. Spence. I believed it back then, and I think the Epstein scandal proved that there's still much more evil than we know being perpetrated by the wealthy and powerful in this country. The wealthy and powerful. That's where our focus needs to be if we're truly interested in justice. Many of the conspiracy theories of recent memory have been intentionally manufactured to shift the balance of power and draw our attention away from these wealthy and powerful people and organizations whose names we don't necessarily know. These bad faith theories have the added benefit to the powers that be of further dividing the American people and alienating free thought, independent journalism, and all opinion outside of the mainstream. The Illuminati seem to play a key role in many of the wildest theories that have found a home among the right wing, Trump supporters, QAnon, and on message boards and social media. They are thought to be the secret society of choice among the rich, secretly controlling the United States and sending us toward a one-world government, or New World Order if you'd like, via their shadow government and celebrity influence. The jewels of this fantastical narrative come in the form of salacious rumors and stories surrounding Hollywood actors and pop music stars doing all kinds of heinous things, because being part of the Illuminati evidently means being a Satanist and taking part in rituals that involve murder and sex crimes. After years of research and exploration, I can tell you the Illuminati are real, but most of that stuff is nonsense. The Illuminati once existed as a secret society, and they probably still kind of do, but that face is all but irrelevant these days. The Illuminati are now a symbol. They are an identity among the elite, powerful and influential, especially in the United States. It's more like an unofficial confederation of various like-minded organizations and individuals who occasionally self-identify through symbolism. The pyramid and all-seeing eye, the color blue, Masonic symbols, magic symbols, etc. Instead of a secret society, in 2022, it would be more appropriate to call the Illuminati a faction of power. The other dominant faction of power in the West can also be identified through their use of secret society symbolism, the Templars. Their primary symbol is a red cross on white background. The Templars are not literally the Knights Templar, but as with their more liberal counterparts, a largely symbolic confederation with certain common principles and goals. The Templars can be defined as Christian and conservative. They are heavily influenced by the Vatican, Catholic Church, Jesuits, Old Western European tradition and hierarchies, and the military-industrial complex. They have been very influential in the Republican Party and the religious right. They have massive wealth, control of world health care, religion, charity, and expansive military power and influence around the globe through mostly the US, UK, and private defense. The Illuminati are most easily defined by contrast. They are more liberal, more traditionally American, especially East Coast, humanist, materialist, capitalist. They have a wider variety of religious beliefs, sometimes Christian or Jewish, often hedonistic, but not typically satanic or involved in ritual abuse of any kind. The Freemasons are much more Illuminati than they are Templar. Personally, I'm not a big fan of either faction because both flavors still represent an oppressive hierarchy of the wealthy and powerful over the people and the rest of the world. They both have elements of organized crime and real secret societies within. And the true villains at the top often adorn these symbolic masks and kill countless innocent people to gain a little ground on the other faction, or leverage over the people, or just to make a statement. But that has very little to do with movie stars. Despite their history, they're not bitter enemies. More like very competitive rivals on the same team who occasionally try to fuck each other over to gain an advantage or more influence. Hence, the manufactured conspiracy theories pointed towards celebrities. Influence is key. Each of these symbolic factions of power are fighting not just for land and wealth, but winning the hearts and minds of the people. Perception. The preservation of their values, which is totally synonymous with their world, and the reality they hope to impose. They are ultimately two competing ideologies attempting to merge and become a one-world ideology under capitalism and the dominant social order. The question is, what shade of purple will the monster be? If you doubt any of this, I encourage you to go back and watch some of your favorite movies. The truth is, both factions have been making their case and telling their stories for decades. Hollywood is not just Illuminati territory. Far from it. Look for the symbolism of red crosses, prominent red and white imagery, and the themes surrounding these scenes or the messages sent by the films. Gremlins is a great one I consider a Templar vehicle. So is Kingsman: The Secret Service. Tombstone and Gangs of New York are both quietly about these two groups fighting for domination. National Treasure and Da Vinci Code are obviously Illuminati. Turns out red versus blue was never really about Democrats and Republicans.